Question number 6. Miss Aditi is our assessee today. The question is already there with you all. The previous year for us is 2018-19 and an assessment year 2019-20. We are calculating the income under the head capital gain that we will write in the middle of the page, and that too an underline has to be there. Particulars and amount, this is how we are going to have the format. There are again 3 to 4 assets which Miss Aditi is holding with her. The very first asset was the residential house. She has sold this house for rupees 45 lakhs. That is the full value of consideration. Because this is a long-term capital asset, we have to take into consideration the indexed cost of acquisition. How will you calculate that? Cost of acquisition into cost inflation index of the year in which the property was transferred divided by the cost inflation index of the year in which the property was acquired. Now, this residential asset has been acquired by Miss Aditi prior to 1/4/2001, and that is why the fair market value of the asset will become the cost of acquisition. We have given the fair market value as rupees 15 lakhs as on 1/4/2001 multiplied by 280, that is the cost inflation index of the year in which the property was transferred, that is of the year 2018-19, divided by 100, that is the inflation index of 2001-2. If you can solve this, you will get 42 lakhs as the indexed cost of acquisition, less amount of rupees 10,000 has been spent as a transfer charges. If you can deduct this from the sales consideration of 45 lakhs, you will get the long-term capital gain of rupees 2,90,000 from the residential house. Now we have been again instructed that she has bought the new flat immediately after the sale of the old residential house, and for how much she has bought that flat? At rupees 10 lakhs. So here you can see the amount of long-term capital gain which she has arrived from the old residential house was 2,99,000, and she has bought the new house at rupees 10 lakh. What does it mean? The entire 2,90,000 has been invested into the new flat. So the entire 2,90,000 will be allowed as a exemption under section 54. Why? Because the old residential house is being sold out and an investment of the same amount is being done into the new residential house property. So as a result, she will have nothing as a taxable long-term capital gain from the very first of her asset, residential house. Now let us go with the second asset which she is holding, that is shares of Y Limited. At 3,15,000 she has sold the shares of Y Limited. Indexed cost of acquisition, if we want to calculate, again this is the formula. Cost of acquisition into cost inflation index in the year in which the property was transferred divided by the cost inflation index of the year in which the property was acquired. Now, here the property here is acquired in the year 2011-12. At that time, the cost of acquisition was 1,60,000. She has bought it at 1,60,000 into the cost inflation index of 2018-19 280, and for 2011-12 it is 184. If you can solve this, you will get 2,43,478. Apart from that, she has spent rupees 1,800 to transfer the shares of Y Limited. Yes, if you can deduct this from the sales consideration, you will have the taxable long-term capital gain of rupees 69,722 for the shares of Y Limited. The third asset which we have been given over here of Ms. Aditi Kumari is the shares of X Limited. She has received rupees 6 lakhs from the sale of the shares of X Limited. The indexed cost of acquisition, again we have to find out over here so as to deduct from the full value of consideration. How will you get that? The cost of acquisition into cost inflation index of the year in which the property was transferred divided by the cost inflation index in the year in which the property was acquired. Here the property was acquired prior to 1/4/2001, and that is why the cost of acquisition would be the fair market value and the cost inflation index would be for 2001-2. Okay, if you can solve this, if you can calculate this, you will get 5,60,000 as the indexed cost of acquisition. Transfer charges of 1,800, even we have to deduct from here so as to get the taxable long-term capital gain of rupees 38,200 from which particular asset? From the shares of X Limited. Apart from that, she had the jewelry, yeah, as a fourth asset. The value of consideration which she has got from the sale was 25 lakhs. Because jewelry is a long-term asset, it has been bought in the year 2004-5. It has become the long-term capital asset. So we will consider the indexed cost of acquisition. For that cost of acquisition, you should have into cost inflation index of the year in which the property was transferred divided by the cost inflation index of the year in which the property was acquired. Yes. The cost of acquisition of this jewelry was rupees 6 lakhs as stated in the problem into the cost inflation index of 2018-19 divided by the cost inflation index of the year in which property was acquired. So it was 2004-5. So the CII is 113. If you can solve this, you will get 14,86,725. Apart from that, she has spent 3,000 as the transfer charges. If you can deduct this from the entire value of consideration of rupees 25 lakhs, you will get 10 lakhs 10,275 as a taxable long-term capital from the jewelry. At the last, we have the assets of debentures. Debenture, one thing you have to keep in mind over here that whenever you are calculating the long-term capital gain of from any of the sale of any of the type of debentures, let it be the listed or unlisted at that time, the indexed cost of acquisition is not applicable to it. That is why the full value of consideration 3,42,000 minus the cost of acquisition only 2,10,000. Why? Because the indexation is not applicable for the calculation of debentures. The transfer charges of rupees 3,000 we are deducting. As a result, we will get 1,29,000 as a taxable long-term capital gain from debentures. If you can, now we had how many assets this Miss Aditi was having? First the residential house, then the shares of Y Limited, shares of X Limited, jewelry, and last the debentures. We are supposed to add the long-term capital gain which we have calculated from all these 5 assets which are over. Yes, if you can take the total of this, you will get 12,47,197 as the total taxable long-term capital gain of Miss Aditi for the assessment year 2019-20. This I have just talked with. The benefit of indexation is not available in respect of listed or unlisted debentures or the bonds. It is only applicable to whom capital index bonds and those which are issued by the central government. Thank you.